My name's Switch Sinclair. I spent 16 years in prison. I ain't proud of it, but it is what it is.
Yoga fire!
Now that I'm free, I thought it'd be cool if I brought some of my friends, associates, and people I met along the way to come and tell you their story. Let you hear what they went through, what they saw, the good, the bad, the ugly. Just so you understand what happens on our show, we do film in front of a live audience. If you hear someone talking, don't be scared of it. It's supposed to happen. We're just gonna have a casual conversation on camera. We're not here to tell anybody who they should and shouldn't be. We just want to give you the truth from behind the bars. We just came here to have some fun, talk to people, hear what they got to say. This is the prisoner's opinion. Hit us in the comments. Tell us what you think. Blessings. Hello everybody, welcome to the Prisoner's Opinion. Today we have with us my co-host, Lance, myself, Switch Sinclair as you know, and today we'll be interviewing my good friend, Soulja.
Say it.
Bet you can never be my Bruce. Choices. They think they're bad cause they're raising voices. The loudest man in the room's the moistest. I never scored that point, it was pointless. They broken coinless, they talk tough, see man and go talk.
Let's go straight into your history. You want to know what led up to you going to prison. So what kind of background did you come from? What household did you come from? Who was living there? What kind of environment was it? Just tell us a little bit about yourself, please.
So I grew up with my mum and my sisters. I got two sisters and two older brothers. So and a little brother as well.
Were you close to them?
Yeah, very close. Very family orientated me.
Okay, cool. What area did you grow up in?
Southall. As a youth man, I grew up in Acton, innit? But I moved from Acton to Southall.
Okay. So, with that being said, we're gonna go straight into talking about, as we said, it's called the prisoner's opinion. So we're gonna talk about what you experienced in prison. How many times have you been to prison?
I can't even count, though.
You can't count the amount of time.
Count.
It's surprising how many people have said to me today they can't count.
Can't count.
I find that really.
Probably the same amount of time I fucked girl.
Okay, I hear that. Well, I hope it's not as many times.
Yeah,
Or
literally.
I hope that you fuck more gal, whichever.
Yeah,
one it is,
obviously.
You know. So, tell us about the first time you ever went to prison.
Well, the first time I went to jail was like I caught a big case with all of the man them. Like we just ran up on some youths and that was it. That was my first case.
What was the
In
actual?
school, I was in school.
You was in school.
I
How
was
old
in
were you?
school, 15.
Okay.
Just like finishing, literally.
That's
didn't
how
even
old I
finish.
was when I caught my first charge.
Yeah?
It's a bad age to catch a crime.
Very bad age because it doesn't stop.
Yeah. What was the actual charge itself?
GBH and violent disorder.
GBH and violence disorder. Is there anything you can tell us about the scenario? Obviously, it's a long time ago. We're not hoping to get anybody in trouble for anything
man,
happening
I already
in the
been
past.
tried and convicted anyway. Boom. What happened is some youths. Obviously, these are the days of robbery days, innit? So obviously, the man them robbed some youths with their phone and whatnot. Some backlash happened. They ended up grabbing my bridge and we've ended up rounding about 50 man, and then boom, found the youths, and that's it. Caught a case. Like we read out on them for 2 days. Read out them the first day, second day we read out them again and got bagged.
So it was a circle of events, basically.
Yeah, circle of events. It started
Just
from
led to
like
a lot of violence.
they
lot of
kidnapped my
guns
brethren
and-
first. We've
Okay.
gone back to grab him. Yeah, we retrieved him. We wasn't
So you went-
satisfied.
So
from
your
the-
friend got kidnapped,
Yeah.
and you went to go and
yeah, he stole
take
someone's
him
phone
back from the kidnappers.
from the kidnappers.
Did you know where they were?
Yeah. We found them because obviously we was lining up to give the phone back to them. That was the arrangement.
So this was all over a mobile phone.
Over a mobile phone. Samsung, one of the Samsung, the ones after the D900.
I don't know what order that is.
One of them flick up ones.
It sounds very
them flick
trivial.
up things.
I mean, look, we come from a background where.
The one
Bad
after the
things
Samsung D900 basically.
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about? That flick up one.
That's
like,
2005.
I think-
What phone was that?
2005, that's exactly
You know
what
what
it
phone
was.
that was?
You're a bad man. How did you know that?
I remember.
You come like the man from the Chiefs.
2005.
2005.
How did he know that?
I'm back to dates on the phone.
That man like come like Google. Yo.
Big fact. Alright, cool. So no, I was to touch on that for a second. So very interesting that I think to a lot of people that may watch this in the future, that may listen to it, they'll find it insane to know that somebody got kidnapped over a mobile phone. Obviously, I come from a background where I've seen things happen for a lot less.
Yeah,
I just want to understand, to give people that insight. It's called the prisoner's opinion, as we keep saying. Just want to give people that insight into why someone will get kidnapped on a mobile phone. What did he do that made other people feel like that was necessary?
It's just like, you know what it is? It's when you want to grab someone, you want to grab someone, innit? Like, he jerked the wrong youth, and then boom, the youth them just grabbed him.
He robbed him.
He robbed him, and boom, boom, bam. The youths just caught him slipping. They rid out on him, and then they caught him slipping.
So he robbed somebody. It just happened to be a mobile phone, but it's more that the robbery had happened. That was the
and where it's all close, it was all in the ends, innit? So these youths, we all went to the same school, we're all in the same borough and that. So it wasn't hard for them to find out who it was, innit?
Yeah.
So it was almost, he robbed the youth, then they ended up looking around who robbed the youth, then they found him.
Quite obvious.
Tied up his hand in them something there. And then
Where did they take him to?
They just took him to a field, innit, in the end. They just took him to the field in the end. No word of a lie, like, they took him to the field in the end. But that's where we went back for him, in the field.
No, I understand that. I've been
The
involved.
ends in the field, bro.
I've been involved in a situation where someone was definitely against their will.
The man pulled up there and then lined up everybody, like, you get me?
Who, the guy who got robbed?
So we've turned up there, yeah. The guy who got robbed, obviously, they're thinking that we're gonna bring back mobile phone business.
Yeah.
We've turned up there, bagger man. They're thinking it's more of their brethren.
So how many of you was there?
There was about 50 man, but
And how many was there of him?
about 30, 30
So
man.
this is a full-on
Yeah.
grease lighting,
Yeah.
kind of.
But obviously, there's bare mutuals that's with them, innit? Like I said, these youths went to my school. There's bare other little youths with them from my school. Yeah, so obviously, we've turned up there now, and then boom, it's lined up everybody and Bob's your uncle, innit? We wasn't satisfied.
So you weren't satisfied. So that was the first day's events.
That was the first day's
I'm
events.
assuming fights happened.
Yeah, whatnot.
People were
Not gonna get into the DLs.
Yeah, I hear you.
You get
we
me?
can all like kind of assume the direction when you were 15. So I don't think there was anything like guns and stuff involved.
Yeah,
We
definitely.
can assume
weren't.
everything leading up to that.
Yeah, exactly.
kind of
man.
all on the
Anything
table.
that were 15-year-old was doing them time there.
Yeah.
You get me?
Okay, so that happened, and then the next day, you
The
then
next
felt
day,
like you needed to go.
Yeah, none of us felt like
double down.
yeah. We were never satisfied. So we got the drop on who the actual youths was that napped him. Because we didn't know what was going on the first day. We were just acting out of emotions. We were balling in that.
Okay, so the first day you just kind of went.
Yeah, like
we know it's your side.
You my way.
So we're just coming to your side to catch any of you.
Yeah, anybody, like literally.
Which again is interesting because that's how a lot of stuff when they talk about postcode wars in London and UK, a lot of people don't understand what postcode is, and a lot of it is we can't get you. We're just gonna catch anybody, you know.
anyone. There's no getting away from it. Like you could be a good youth that knows the man, then you're gonna get it as well.
How long was he kidnapped for?
He was only like not even that long, man. It was just like they were just holding him until man brought back the phone. So we say it was kidnapped, but they just tied up his hand and holding him hostage.
So they go into.
So it wasn't like a mapping like they would hit me from like pulling out his fingernail and them something. There like it was just they just holding him in it like, and the man just
Who's against his will?
Yeah, against his will, fam. Broke out his teeth and them something there.
Yeah.
And then we just went there, bro.
So then that happened.
That's the first case I ever caught.
And that led to you going to prison.
Yeah, led to me going to prison. I didn't go to prison straight away. They gave me bail because there was a lot of us that got arrested. There was about 30-year-old man that got nicked.
Okay.
26 of us got convicted though.
26 of you got convicted.
Yeah. Blackfriars, Crown Court.
That's crazy.
Yeah, literally.
How many of you went to prison?
4.
Okay.
One person, but the 4, like, I don't know what happened with man breaking bail condition and whatnot. Like, that's how I ended up going jail. Because we were all minors, innit? So it wasn't really a jail thing until I started breaking the conditions.
Yeah.
So that's how I ended up in jail.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense.
They told me not to come back to London.
Yeah.
At that time, I just transitioned to Nottingham with my mum. My mum moved into Nottingham.
Yeah.
And then I came back to London. I got caught in the area. And yeah, they weren't having any of it, prison.
How did it lead to you getting arrested? What, did they call the police or?
Nah, basically, the local police in the area know I'm not supposed to be in the ends.
Oh,
so when they seen me in the ends, they seen I brought my conditions. And then bam, sent me to jail, felt them.
So you're
bitten.
Bitten when I remember.
Bitten and curling, the days of the peacocks.
Yeah. I hated bitten wing. That's okay, so I'm gonna bust you on another exciting new brand. This brand is called Legit Criminal. I love this brand. Let me show you what's going on. Look. Something that they got. Look. Even look at the packaging furthermore. The box comes wrapped in cling film. It says 1 kilo of cocaine on it, and from what the print is, looks like raw cocaine base. So it's really cool, really exciting, thinking outside of the box. We love that, you know. Too many brands doing the same thing nowadays. No one's doing anything different. Look at that. Look at that packaging. Alright, so let's get this open. So, as I said, Legit Criminal brand, they make lifestyle trainers and clothing. Look at these. Ooh. Look at these. These trainers, or sneakers for you foreigners, these trainers are super comfortable and they look sexy as fuck. They don't have laces in the front, although you can do laces if you want to, but they tie up actually at the side. The material is sublime. The colorway, extraordinary. They're so comfortable. They're actually handmade. These are handmade trainers. You don't see handmade trainers in 2021. It's a very rare thing to have handmade trainers in production. Yeah, so these are just, I just want to wear these for the rest of my life, and I suggest that you check these out. The tongue is a little bit padded, as you can see, the big logo on the front. Let's make these the next to blow. These are hectic. If you want something different, you want something new to try, Legit Criminal. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So you were 15 when you first went to prison, went to Feltham, Britain, as you said. What was your thought? I remember being on the sweatbox. Yeah. And kind of, I mean, I was going to prison with my codeine. I was 16 as well, the first time I went to prison. I remember being on the sweatbox, and kind of, I was very nonchalant about it. I didn't really care. Yeah. I almost felt like, I thought I was Pablo Escobar, so I was kind of on the bus feeling like, I'm the baddest out here, I'm gonna be the baddest in there as well. Yeah. I didn't really care, and I kind of just remember shouting at my codeine, like, we wasn't really taking in what we'd done. I just remember shouting at him, being like, you get a glass partition, you can't even really see anybody. Like, I got your back. Yeah. You got my back.
You have to have them conversations before anything.
Yeah. How did you feel? What was your thought process?
Oh, you know what it is? Well, when I went to jail, I had a whole vision of prison in a whole different way. Like, I thought it was going to be a mad thing, no telly, no food, you're getting porridge, all this type of thing. And when I went there, like, I had a television, like, police station is worse than prison.
Police station is worse than prison.
After I went back to prison a few times, I couldn't wait to get to prison from police station.
Yeah. No, for real.
So I can get a sandwich, a crisps, or something.
You know what the craziest thing is, right?
Serious.
I kid you not. My body has adjusted to. I've been arrested so many times. My body's adjusted to being in a police cell. Yeah. That I enter a police cell and automatically fall asleep.
Automatically, that's it.
I'll be in there over 3
my
days
head,
just
bam,
to sleep.
knocked out.
Yeah. Turn the lights off.
All I want to know is when you're coming to fingerprint all my man and
when
interview.
Court.
Yeah, the court, literally.
And I think that's a terrible.
I don't sleep when I'm in a police station. Well, I've only
you're stressed up.
Counting them squares up there, like,
you know what it is?
9.
Doing bare press ups.
9, 14.
Personal bests.
Yeah, you know what it is? I think it's made for you not to feel, well, not comfy, but because they wake you up every hour it is.
Yeah.
They do them
2 hours,
checks. Yeah.
It's designed to stress you out, because remember in the UK, this is not. I mean, I won't isolate any countries, but in other countries, they might come in and just kick your face off and tell us. Furthermore, you did it. We're not even asking you what happened.
That's
you
right.
did it. Sign the thing. This is England. The only way they can put you in prison is if they either have you banged to rights or if they somehow get you to confess. How can they get you to confess as a man or a woman, a strong individual, unless you're kind of given? How can they get you to confess as a strong individual unless they stress you out to the point of just releasing that information? So the light stays on 24 days. You look up at the ceiling, they got Crime Stoppers written on the roof.
Have you ever felt like giving in?
Call us Samaritans.
Giving in to what?
Like, have you ever looked? It's like because sometimes these police officers, they try it. They think they can like meddle with you.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? They feel like they can get into your head, innit? Like, just tell us.
I could. You know what? I can honestly say. I don't think anybody's ever really tried to make me even snitch.
Yeah.
One or two.
I know, 'cause it's in
stupid
America,
officers-
innit?
Yeah, one or two stupid officers in prison who felt like they had a good friendship with me might have felt like they could say one or two, you know what I mean? Like, and you have to tell them like we're not friends like that.
No, but you know when they interview, I was watching an interview the other day, and it was about one of these cop like programs, Channel 5 ones and that, Interceptors or something. And then the guy was like, he was saying no comment, and then it got to the bit where he was like, "Are you working for anyone, mate?"
Yeah.
And he's like, like trying to be silent, like finna be smart ass nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like the feds asked him like, "You working for anyone?" Because if you are, and he just like he wants, you know what I'm saying? You know what he's doing, innit?
Yeah.
That subliminal,
Yeah,
like
that's
he's
subliminal.
that subliminal
That's like
What we call
snitching.
dry snitching.
Yeah, like what we call dry snitching, which is worse.
Which is worse. What actually, as we're there, let's not assume. Can someone explain to me what dry snitching is? Just for anyone
Dry
that knows
snitching
that
is when you
terminology?
basically, we all know what snitching means. Dry snitching is basically, I'm gonna cut long story short, is trying to snitch
without snitching.
without
Yeah.
snitching. So
Being
you're
smart.
trying. It's like, give you an example. If a police officer arrested you now, both of us, we're all here.
Yeah.
I got a knife in the car. We all know it's mine. The police officer is gonna ask us now, whose knife is that in the car? One of you lot.
It's not mine.
Oh, who's that? Who's that? Oh, they found it. They found it.
You know what? That's a perfect analogy.
Yeah, it's
you're
like
right.
it's like saying a name without saying a name.
Saying the name. That's the dry snitching.
yeah.
And that's worse than snitching because wait, what type of levels you on from that? You know what I mean?
And it's funny because you find so many people who are involved in the lifestyle who call themselves tough guys and say they'd never snitch, but they be doing that dry snitching shit
weird
on
stuff.
a regular basis.
And you know another thing I have with snitching problem, I really have a problem with people like, if you're in a case with somebody, because if you're a criminal anyway,
Yeah.
and you know the risk of what goes on, if you're doing a case with someone, you caught a case, isn't it? You should say no comment.
Well, of course. Well, that's what I've always.
That's the ideal
thought that was
situation.
the
Like,
best
what I can't
situation,
stand
of
is
course.
people think they're gonna get bail, fam. Yeah. I don't know.
Hey,
I don't know if they're gonna get bail.
Is it you? No. This is actually a really good point.
Serious.
It's a good point because people need to understand. I mean, please understand. I'm not here.
I'm finna get bail ass niggas.
I'm not here promoting any kind of criminality. We're just here to talk about the truth of the situation. The reality of the situation, for anyone who doesn't know, your police interview is about entrapment. Your police interview, as I think you were just trying to say, is what are you going to say that the police can now disprove? Shut your mouth and say no comment if you are trying to go home. And if that's what you need to do. Again, I'm not endorsing the criminality, so please don't now have whoever does the peacekeeping thing turn up at my door. But yeah, just please understand. I got two questions in relation to that actually for both of you.
Yeah.
Number one, what is a snitch? Can a civilian snitch?
No, I don't think it applies to civilians because you're not in that lifestyle, so you won't be snitching. If you know, like an honest taxpayer, you can't be snitching because you're not in that life. So I don't think it applies to normal civilians.
So what about a situation where, as Soulja told us about earlier, I know they were a lot younger than probably the people you're relating this to, where something's happened and, for example, you have decided to go and find whoever is affiliated to them to retract your, to engage in your revenge. Can that person snitch? Is that person seen as a civilian?
I guess it depends and it varies, isn't it? In that scenario, you basically, if you go looking after someone, that means you kind of taking the law into your own hands. So realistically, you can't snitch. But if it's the other way around, then yeah. If that makes sense. So if you're gonna take the law into your own hands, like literally, that means.
No, I'm saying can the victim snitch? The victim is technically a civilian.
Oh, the
but you've
victim.
gone after them because they're affiliated to Soulja, and Soulja's just
Hey,
stole
you can't
a mobile
snitch
phone.
because he kidnapped my man. He can't snitch.
No, I'm saying can the victim snitch?
Oh, the victim.
Yeah.
Like the boy that got napped. Like, can he snitch?
He can't because he took the phone, right?
He's on the roads. He knows what he's in.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
He can't snitch.
Anybody that knows what they're involved in on the battlefield should know. None of that.
Okay.
It's any civilians, gal business, bruv. Like it's not like they should snitch. We just know that they're exempt, isn't it? Like they're more likely to snitch.
Yeah.
Man, ain't gonna say they can't. Like I don't want no one to snitch, bro. No one's supposed to
100%.
snitch.
I was making a different point, but I completely agree with what you lot are saying. Well, I understand what you lot are saying, rather. Alright, cool. So that brings me to my second question. We're in London, obviously, but we pay a lot of attention to kind of American culture. We all be stupid that like London's not highly influenced by America, and nowadays America's just as influenced by London, it seems. Let's take it to the rapper Tekashi 6ix9ine. Right? Now, I was actually introduced to Tekashi 6ix9ine by an ex of mine who was like, "You're gonna really like this guy." I touched into it immediately. I was completely engaged in it. You know, I like the rainbow hair, gangster type shit. You don't give up. You don't care what anybody thinks and feels. And then, as we all know, he then got caught in a RICO case where he decided to send to prison or snitch on all of his friendship group, the same friendship group that he'd been hiring to go and do shootings and robberies and to basically help promote his career. However, the opposing view to that is people say those same people that were his friends that he put in prison apparently
Fucking his baby mother,
had sex with his baby mother, kidnapped him, and wanted to kill him. What is your view with all that
I'm gonna let you go
information?
first in this.
This one's a tough one because
What can I get wrong?
one, the first thing is
So we were talking about 6ix9ine and just trying to get to the bottom of what our thoughts are around what he did. Some people are of the opinion that he was within his rights to snitch, as we put it, because of what his crew or his friends did to him, kidnapping him, having sex with his baby mother, trying to kill him. Then others felt like he wasn't justified because, you know, these were people at the end of the day he was around that helped promote his music career, helped to make him money, and also people that he was paying to commit crimes such as robbery, kidnapping, also that he could put it on social media and progress himself. And we'd asked Lance what your thoughts on that are.
In my humble opinion, I don't think 6ix9ine, well, yeah, he snitched, but he's not from the streets though. I think it was kind of well orchestrated in the sense that he kind of planned every single bit of it. Obviously, he never planned that them lot was going to get arrested, and he would have been facing, what, 45 years or whatever it was. But I think, obviously, from a business perspective, he kind of planned every single bit. Obviously, he got them lot for protection, which he was paying. He didn't know them, so yeah, they violated him, slept with his baby moms, kidnapped him. They took the piss. But when it comes to 6ix9ine, I don't think he actually. Nah, he's not from the streets, so I wouldn't say he snitched.
So you're saying he didn't snitch because he knew it was a marketing strategy?
Yeah, because he's not from the streets. That's not his sort of background. That's not his lifestyle. He was just putting it on for the cameras, and he was just getting paid.
So what about the point that he portrayed himself as being from the streets, not only for the cameras, but also for the people that he was paying to go and commit these crimes? He was saying he's part of a gang, the Blood Gang. So how do you feel about that? You just think that doesn't matter?
Nah, it does matter, but when you look at it, first of all, he paid them obviously for clout. You wanted to get clout. Like, that's what people do nowadays, isn't it? Like the millennials do. He paid them just so obviously he could get more views, he could be more interesting. Obviously it's wrong, 100%. What he did was wrong. However, like, you can't take him too seriously because everything he done was sort of strategized. It's coming from like a business perspective, if you know what I mean.
So does that mean that if you have a business perspective, and this doesn't just relate to crime, does it mean if you're doing business that anybody that gets, what's the word I'm looking for? Anybody that gets affected by that negatively doesn't matter because it's business?
Not really. I mean, in the sense that what I meant is in the sense that 6ix9ine, people saying like, yeah, he snitched. I don't think he did because,
Yeah,
like
he did.
I said, if you, yeah, he
That nigga told.
he did, but he's not from the streets. Like, remember what I
No,
said?
but he portrayed himself.
Yes.
Like Switch said, he
Remember what I said-
portrayed himself like
remember
he
what
was.
I said earlier on, I said.
So when you're
snitching
around
is-
certain things,
yeah,
you portray
but he
yourself.
put himself
Okay,
around that.
so actually, that makes me want to ask a different question. Because we've all, to varying degrees, been involved in the streets, right? Or criminality is probably the better word to use for the common person. So if you have a friend, a guy who turns up, comes around your friendship group, you've been together for 20 years, you've known each other forever, as some of us in this room have. They come around, they say, you know, I want to be down, I want to do what you're doing, and you're still involved in criminality. and he says, I want to come on this robbery with you. Lot. I hear you lot planning this robbery. Like Fast and the Furious, right? I want to come on this robbery with you lot. You lot planning, you lot doing.
And he says it himself. I want to come.
I want to get paid too.
Yeah, I want to get paid.
And then you go and you get nicked, and he's like, "Oh boy,
Yeah,
you lot made the life look interesting, innit? But me, son, now I got jail for you. How? Is he snitching?
If you
It was a marketing strategy though. He's getting money.
Yeah, if you know that person for 20 years, right? Obviously, you know that's not for you, innit, right? So that
No, but this guy came into your friendship group. He wasn't with you for 20 years. He just turned up. You took him in. We all meet friends.
Oh, he
throughout
just
our
turned
life.
up. Okay, cool,
Yeah.
cool. Okay. No, that's a good point. Yeah, obviously, nah.
Hey, bro, I
That
can't even
was
lie. I think it's very simple, these points. You have to ask me these questions, please. I'll answer it
So we're
very
gonna move
simply.
on. So we're not move on. We're gonna interact. So you told me what your thoughts are regarding it.
Can you ask me that again, just so I can answer it in the correct way?
Okay, so now we've come to the time of another exciting new brand. See, I just feel like everybody does the same thing now, and it's really boring. You don't see anybody doing anything innovative. All the clothes look the same, it's the same shapes, it's the same designs, the same materials. Now what this brand, Penny Pound, is doing, again, super sick, super lit packaging. What this brand is doing is using real currency, so that's real British money, real British notes, real British coins as a material, as a concept, as an aesthetic to create art on clothing items, furniture, all kinds of stuff. And here what we have is a Penny Pound bag. This is super sick. This is monumental. I mean, it's the details for me. You can see, I don't know if you can see what I can see, but it's the details for me. I mean, this part here, where you see little Elizabeth, our queen, see her eye there, you see her mouth, just the whole connectivity of it, the entire thought process of how this is put together, how this differs from other brands is amazing to me. This is a statement piece brand. This is a statement piece bag. When you're walking down the road, everybody has to notice what you have in your hands when you have this bag with you. Don't get robbed. I mean, be careful. There's nearly £200 worth of real cash spread throughout this bag into this beautiful aesthetic. This bag's called the Heartbreak bag. It's real top grain leather. It's got a nice purple line inside, as you can see. It's got areas for your credit cards and your phones, etc. It comes with a detachable handle. Yeah, no, I'm really excited about this brand. I'm really super excited about this brand. This is obviously, well, it's a unisex bag. It's for men or female. If you want to buy a bag, you buy a bag. But I've seen some of the pieces they have come in, jumpers, t-shirts, everything. Unisex for everybody. This hat, again, I didn't want to show my hair because I didn't have the trim. I didn't feel like I wanted to offend people like that. Penny Pound. This is all happening. Definitely go and check this brand out. Definitely. I mean, I can't even say it enough. This is some lit stuff. My people, check it out. Blessings to you. Penny Pound. We've already been through the fact that 6ix9ine as a rapper was a guy who portrayed himself as being a very serious gangster. I say that in quotes because what the hell is a serious gangster?
Certainly he did.
I remember his line, "You're a killer, I'm a killer
Yes,
too."
he did.
Yeah?
got mad, he got soft.
Yeah, he portrayed himself as a bad man.
Okay, he portrayed himself as a bad man, and when the pressure came, as we said, so he had these people that were around him. He called them his friends. He stayed with them every day. He also paid them commit crimes for him. They helped his career progress. They also did him dirty. They slept with his baby mother.
What
They
type of
kidnapped
thing?
him. The FBI caught wiretaps that they
What
wanted
type
to
of
kill
thing?
him. That his friends wanted to kill him. What are your thoughts on that?
You see what I'll say is, yeah, plain and simple, he portrayed himself as a bad man, and he went out the snitch way. There is no left ways around it. There's no way. I ain't surprised though. I seen his rainbow hair. I seen his rainbow teeth. I seen what he was on. I already know he's an informer.
No, but
it wasn't no
like
surprise
that,
to me.
I like the rainbow hair made me feel like he was more of a
And
gangster.
Switch, you remember when you said a man bust you on him, like your girl bust,
yeah.
or a girl bust you?
Yeah.
A man busts me on him, like yo, my man's the sickest thing going, and like boom, like any other rapper.
Yeah.
I wasn't buying it, bro. I could look at this guy and tell that something's up. Like he must have something wrong with him. Like he must have bacterial foot infection or something. Like something. It's too good to be true. Something's up. Something's up.
But for me, just to touch on
I ain't
that
buying
point,
it, man.
Just touching that point, right? For me, I've always been. I mean, I'm not trying to say I'm anybody special, but I've always been of a certain character, and I've always been an individual. So
You
if
go
I-
by old school
if-
codes, man.
yeah.
You can look a man in his eyeball and tell if he's somebody like that. You can tell he's not somebody like that.
Yeah, so if you go by old school codes, right? So you'd know he's not serious to get involved with him.
Yeah, but then he portrayed himself like that.
Yeah.
So
But
even if he
then-
didn't look like that, because there's many men that don't look like that. There's
but
man
there's
with
loads of
glasses,
people-
like clear spec glasses, that you'd never think they're gangsters.
There's loads of people portraying themselves to be
The most humblest people.
a lot of things. That's what I'm saying. You should have known people.
So you
a lot
can't-
of people predicted that would have ended up. Well, he would
I
end
always
up in that
knew. I always
situation.
knew he was a weird
And
you.
he was
You
a
can
snitch.
feel energy. I read it.
So is it? So are you saying it's because you looked in his eye? Or are you saying because he
I
had
could
pink
tell.
and
I could
purple
tell.
hair?
I could tell. I don't know. I'm a real you. I can tell.
So you say real recognize real.
Real
is the phrase
recognize
that they
real. I
use.
could tell he's a fool.
Alright, so
I was kind of fooled. I'm not gonna. But I think that in hindsight, I was kind of fooled.
I'm not fooled by that, man.
What did you just do?
That noise that he did,
Alright, so what if he was in?
He was like, "I'm a you're a killer,
I
I'm
wasn't
a
buying
killer
it, man.
too,
I
I'm
wasn't buying it.
related."
And I don't know, like, it's a millennials, like you said. It's a new
Yeah.
generational thing.
So
Like,
it's-
people just buy into these weird youths, bro.
You see the guys that he paid, right? What if he offered you money? What would you do?
That's
in
what I'm
that
saying. You
situation?
see money, people do anything. They'll say they're behind.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying, fam? Like, these
Very
people
true.
just do
But what would
anything
you
for
do?
money.
What would
What would
do?
you do?
Ma-
This guy
old
turned up
school
with
moral.
purple hair.
Moral. Me have moral. Like, I ain't doing them something there, fam. Like,
Yeah,
man,
exactly.
No, wait, because I don't believe you. I know you.
Go on.
Hold on,
Yes,
hold on.
you do.
Wait,
Go on.
let me just.
What don't you believe?
Let me ask you again. Let me ask you clearly.
Yeah,
Let me ask you
clearly,
clearly.
please.
Hold on a second. So this little geek turns up. We'll call him a geek, right? He's got purple. It doesn't even have the purple. He's just a geek.
I might not judge nobody by nothing anyway.
Okay, but hold on.
And I
a
wouldn't
second.
even judge him 'cause he's purple hair.
Wait. 'Cause
Just the way you talk and
this
your
is the point.
trainers.
So he turned up. He's a geek, right? And he's in a situation where he cannot protect himself. We're all aware that he can't protect himself, and we can. And he says, "Yo, I'm gonna pay you more than you're making.
that's
doing
exactly what
anything
happened.
you wanna do. All I need you to do is be my shooter.
That's exactly what happened.
You gonna do it?
That's exactly what happened. 100%. What? With
And
this
this is
big
my
rich
point.
pum pum bread.
Yeah, so-
100%.
so-
like,
Bro.
man ain't thinking he's a snitch. I'm just gonna be
What do you
thinking the
mean?
money at the first.
Why would you not think he's a snitch?
Because you don't
One
think
second,
like that, but when a man's rapping like that, talking like that, giving the persona, you're going off face value. You know what I'm saying? You're only going off of what
Yeah,
you
but you
see.
just said
Human
you-
being, me, myself, and I'm telling you, I'm a real you. I can see these things. You know what I'm saying? But in general, the first person, the human being, you automatically like the money. You just like, yo, the money. Let me just like rock with mine for the piece. It's a mindset, innit? Like, it's a mindset. If you're
Nah,
a
fair
person,
enough, I
if
get
you
that.
come from nothing, yeah, like if you're from the battlefield and you come from nothing, and a man offered you opportunity just to rock with him, no matter what you look like, and he ain't got no snitch credentials on his name yet, and he's offered you a big bunch of money just to security and rock with him.
Yeah, but I'm pretty
You
sure
gotta do it, bro.
there was a few scenarios that probably
No
made
matter
us think.
even if you look
No,
at
but
him as a weirdo.
me personally, I feel like I've been in that situation many times over, especially in jail. Because you know, in jail, the man them's the man them. When I say the man them, people
And
don't
the
understand
actual
that.
type of people snitch
You
as
have
well.
you have groups in prison, but primarily you got the boys, the geeks, and the drug addicts, right? And the boys are the boys, and we run everything, or they run everything is probably the better terminology.
Hey, you
Now,
explain that in the realest
when a
way
guy
ever.
comes along that you know has money, he might be a brick boy that sells a lot of drugs. He might be a guy who does a lot
Yeah,
of
your
fraud, and he
financial
comes along and he
situation.
says to me, and he kind of just starts hanging around. And you know he's a geek. You don't even like him,
Yeah.
but he's just making you feel like, yo, you might be plugged in when you get out. We might make
But
you
there's a
make you
million of them boys.
millionaire.
Imagine that.
No.
There's a million of them boys on the road.
There
right
is a
now.
million of them. But I'm saying in prison, in that situation, when they come into your life, you be telling your friends, told me it wouldn't happen. He be just hanging around you. Next thing you know, you're cooking mackerel for the guy. And your friend wants to put pressure on you. You're in the kettle. You're in the kettle. Couscous and mackerel. Right? For this geek. You're telling your friend, boy, there's not enough. You see me? So your friends all trying to put pressure on him, like, bro, like let's take his canteen, let's take his food, let's take everything he's got, let's rob him. You're telling your friend, bro, no, he's alright.
Yeah, trust me.
He's good. No, am I wrong? And this is what I'm saying.
Yeah, but that's sort of the value though. You're looking at the profit side of it.
That's it, the village. That's what you're thinking.
Aren't
The
we
village. If you're a black youth and you come from nothing, that's what you're going to be thinking
But
about.
most of the times,
if
the
you
signs
got
are there.
if you got yourself pattern, you're going to look at this. You look at idiot. Like, move this idiot.
Now, one thing I agree with,
Situation, innit?
one thing I definitely agree with is that the signs always show themselves. You can only pretend or act for a certain amount of time. And me personally, when I see the signs, I'm going like a shot.
Yeah, because looking back on everything that you possibly have done, or let's go back different scenarios in your life, the signs always show up, and you just choose to ignore them. That's what I'm saying. There's always signs. Them lot, obviously, that got involved with him, they probably saw the signs. Like, listen, if I catch a rat for this, definitely he's gonna snitch. You probably just ignore it because they're getting paid.
Big money.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You're not thinking that man's gonna snitch, really.
Yeah.
Like, and
They probably thought they could control it.
They're not even thinking they're gonna get nicked.
Yeah.
That's how fucking idiots these people are. These Americans.
So what's the lesson in
But
that?
you got to examine yourself. It's not about big money. It's about what's your principle.
Yeah.
What drives you on in life? That's the main thing.
And
I know what drives me, but I'm just talking about the overall population of
I
human
get what you're
beings.
saying. I get what you're saying.
And they're just on money, bro. Anything, you just back out change. Like, get me, from people just do things for you.
Yeah, but it goes back to what you said as well, morals, innit?
Morals, bro.
You
don't
can't
go with that,
always,
you're fucked.
always have to assess your morals, because sometimes, not because dude comes in and he has like what? He got a massive sum on his head, that doesn't mean you have to let your morals go because of obviously his dollar signs, isn't it? You know what I'm saying?
But out of 80% of people, 20% of them won't be on that. Maybe, or 5% that won't be on that. Will be the principle like us, man. And then the rest of them will be falling for the trap.
So is that the lesson that you're saying? In fact, let me let you say what you think the lesson in that situation is for people.
I think the lesson is as well, you always got to watch your circle. And obviously, it's one of those things that is not based on numbers, as in how much money the person has, how much you're getting paid. Obviously, your freedom is worth more, you get me, than any amount of money, innit? So, yeah.
Could someone pay you to go to jail?
Nah, because I'll never do that.
You couldn't pay me to go to jail.
If man's in jail, man's in jail.
But the wild thing about that is that we all go jail for such little money at times.
Stupidness.
The stupidness, right?
But you don't think you're gonna go jail at the time. This is what I'm saying. This is why we get to the 6ix9ine thing. 6ix9ine didn't think none of the shotty or them blood youths never thought they would. Yeah, he snitched, but they didn't think that youth's gonna go. They're gonna go jail from it. They're gonna catch a case with my man. Even though they might have looked at him as a funny youth, they didn't think they're gonna catch a case with my man.
He's an industry.
It's a conspiracy recall
It's an
case.
industry nigga. So everything you do is magnified. You know what I'm saying? So
Even when he
Doesn't-
got out, like you said, he's an industry dude. They probably was telling him like, listen, keep doing this because your views.
But that's what I'm saying. The street niggas, he couldn't even imagine, fathom the amount of money he's getting. The village. Remember, Americans are different to us, man. You know, like, let's just get that clear as well. Americans, them man are different. Them man just rock with any and anything. Like, we still have morale and we're cultured around here. Them man, they don't know nothing from nothing.
I mean, I ain't gonna disrespect America.
I just think they just got money, bro, and that's that from that. I don't think they're very
But I do
uncultured.
believe they got very distracted by the money, and I think it's easy to happen to all of us. But cool.
Yeah, 100%.
Let's move on. Steve told me we got all of that factual content.
Very good.
No, you got record.
Yeah.
That was a very nice amount. I
That
felt
was
like
good
that
for a
was
first.
That was a good amount.
You hot?
I'm hot. I'm on this side.
I noticed the hat went up a little bit. I'm gonna tell you about Dutch Pot Gang real quick. Dutch Pot Gang is my own family recipes, Caribbean condiments, bottled up and delivered to you for your enjoyment. Listen, look right away what we've got flavored pepper sauce. This is me. That's me and my son on the bottle, because this is family stuff. We've got flavored pepper sauce. It's made at home for maximum flavor. This is hot. I'm not gonna lie to you. If you cannot deal with pepper, it's probably not the one for you. But if you like your pepper hot and flavoursome, this is perfect for you. I cannot have a meal without it. I promise you. Cop this. This is the one for you. Another one that we've got going on. This is our sweet Caribbean gravy. So let me give you another title of what's going on here today. So if you go into the stores, pick any store, right? You're only gonna find one type of gravy on the shelf. It's only been one type of gravy on the shelf for the last 50 years. This is what they're calling gravy. This they want to put on my plate for me to eat with my rice. This, people, is disgusting. I don't want nothing more to do with that. Listen, so what we're doing, as I'm a Caribbean boy, Guyanese, we make the best gravy in the world. So I'm going to give people a chance to taste it. We want to give people another option. We want to let people see what good gravy really tastes like. Definitely cop this one. You need it in your life. And we also have brown stew gravy. Now, all my Caribbean people know what brown stew gravy is. But if you don't know, Caribbean brown stew gravy is kind of a wet soy sauce based sweet kind of gravy. It's just a different type of gravy, beautiful. You can put it on your chicken, put it on your fish, whatever you want, especially if you don't use no seasoning. But even if you do, put this on, marinate it into your chicken, or put it on your rice afterwards. I guarantee you're gonna have a good time. Dutch pot gang, my family recipes. Oh, one more thing before you go. It's pretty hard for independent retailers to get their stuff into stores. So what we've done is we've made a petition, and we want you, our audience, to help us get into stores. We want you to go and sign a petition. The link is going to be in the bio of this advert. Also, you can find it on the website. We want you, our audience, and the public to help us get this into stores. We want you to sign a petition so that we can go to the stores and say, look, this is how many people want to see a different alternative on the shelves other than this nasty rock-based formula that they're trying to kill my people with, insult my people with. Please don't ever give me anything like that. But listen, Dutch Pot Gang, this is what you need. I hope you like it. Support us. Your first time in prison, you were 15, you went to Feltham, and your thoughts and processes. So you got off of what we call the sweat box, which is the box that transports you to prison. It's like a small truck with segregated mini cells, maybe this size, and maybe there'll be 6 cells or 9 cells within that truck. You stepped your foot off of the bus. What happened next?
Even before I stepped foot off the bus, I was socializing with the youths in court. You know, when you like, they just break them down through the process. So what happens is, when you go to jail now, you go to court, innit? And then obviously CPS in that, they defend you. Your lawyers defend you. CPS is they're trying to chat shit on you for you to go to jail.
CPS, you mean the Crown Prosecution Service?
Crown Prosecution Service.
The barristers or solicitors are for the government.
They're trying to make you go to prison.
Yeah.
And obviously your lawyer not trying to stop you from going to prison. Most likely, if the case is like serious enough, you're gonna go to prison. And it's as simple as that. Especially, it's just as simple as that. You're just gonna go to prison. Once you're in prison now, before you go to prison, they give you the you're in the court cells. Obviously, that's one of the hardest things ever because you have to sleep on newspaper and that.
Yeah. So
for anybody who
doesn't know, you go to court. For anybody who doesn't know, you go to court and they leave you in a cell. I mean, a lot of people are gonna say, who cares? You committed a crime, but maybe you didn't commit a crime. Maybe you didn't listen. You go to court and they put you in a cell, maybe the size double of this table, and you have a bench to sit on.
And it's worse than prison.
That is literally wooden like this. And
I couldn't wait to go to prison for them sandwiches.
But it's the truth. You literally enter into the court cell wishing that the day is over and that you can go to prison. Can you imagine actually sitting there thinking, I can't wait to get to prison just so I don't have to sit on this wood anymore.
The telly inside the bit. Oh.
What telly you had in court?
No, not in court.
You
no,
went
when you go to
6ix9ine?
prison.
What's going on?
No. The holding room.
What did you go to?
What did you go to? 6ix9ine?
Where did you go to? I never saw
I didn't go to that court, nigga. I ain't talking about court. I'm talking about, you know when you go to jail, when you're in the holding bay, they cover up the TV in the holding bay.
Yeah, they've got the plastic over
and
it.
you're getting the plastic meal and that broken bit, gravy and that.
I don't eat that meal.
You don't eat it, but when you're hungry, fam, you don't eat the prison thing, the jail thing.
I might have a piece of
the
bread.
police station
That's
thing.
the best I might do, a piece of bread.
Like you dip the bread in the gravy, man.
Yeah. Okay, so we are now in prison. So you say you were socializing with people in the court?
Yeah, so I'm socializing with people. Basically, when you're on a sweat box now, there's, like you said, there's about 9 people on the sweat box, innit? So there's other man from other hoods you're bucking up into on the bus already. Like, yo, brother, where you from, bro? What you in for? And bam, 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 bam. So man's already getting prepped up for prison. Man don't know what it's like. So obviously, like I said, I thought prison was a bit porridge. You know what I'm saying? I thought it was porridge and hell and no television or nothing like that. Solitary confinement. Was it solitary confinement or solitary? Solitary confinement. That's what I thought it was, and then bam, got prison in that, and it wasn't that bad. It wasn't bad at all. I had a telly in there, 1 to 5.
So it wasn't that bad?
No, I didn't care. I was just like, what? Is this it?
No, because I went through a similar
I'm
process.
serious. The only thing you care about is pom-pom. Nothing else.
So I went through a similar process, but I want to understand.
And your family, and your mum dying. Like something with your family.
I want people to understand why you felt like it wasn't that deep.
Because I had a different picture of it from before. I thought it was just not like, I thought it was like porridge.
So wasn't so you think prison should be harsher if it's going to teach people?
No, I thought it was because obviously you just see it on the TV, innit? Like you know the programs you see.
But should prison be harder to teach people a lesson?
Nah, because it's hard anyway. Like even though I'm saying it like it was easy for that long, bro. Like
I don't want to go jail.
You don't want to go jail, bro. Like literally, you don't want to go workhouse. Like it's pain in that. Like yeah, it's pain.
But how did the police get involved?
Was this in the original case?
Yeah,
that went
the original case.
In the kidnapping case?
Yeah, that's what it is.
How did they get bagged? How did we get bagged?
Yeah.
Basically, there was a bag of us. Like, you know what I'm saying? We didn't get bagged that day. We all ducked out. Jakes came there. We all blew out. Boom, boom, bam. And then we got all bagged in the block. Innit? We ran up in the youth's yard.
After you got chased
Yeah,
by the police.
and there was about 70, 50. The next day we had a bag of more man.
Yeah.
So it was all type of man from Southall, Greenford, Norfolk, all type of areas. Like linked up now. We just gone through man, and then bam, we just all got bagged. Well, say that again, bro. Say louder.
No, I'm saying all these guys for one body.
For
You're
one,
asking
no,
if
for
it
a
was
group,
happening for
a group
one
of man,
person.
innit? But we found a drop on the youth's yard. We're youth, man. You know what I'm saying? We're youth, man. We don't know what's what.
I understand.
We just got the drop, and then
You were
we're
just
going.
young and everyone. So
And
it's
we're
probably more of
going.
a situation like you could be walking down the road and running to 10 friends that you know, and they're like, "Where you going?"
Yeah.
Like, we're going to go do.
Thank you very much.
And they're like,
And
"Yeah, we're coming." Cool. Yeah.
We're in school, literally, we're in school. So bam,
Okay.
we decided to just go to my man's yard, big tower block in that, and the toppest tower with the whole thing shard height.
Yeah.
We went there now. Yeah, boom, boom, bam, lick off my man's door and that one. We got bagged inside the block. We got bagged, like obviously we tried dust out. But obviously the brother with the elder we was with is yipping off his mouth, chatting too much, innit? Like, you know what I'm saying? We're young, didn't know what was what. Obviously man was chatting too much, and then bam, we all got bagged
Okay.
in the block. Like it was a tower block in Golf Links in Southall.
Okay, so let's go back to prison. So you're in prison. You've been there 1 or 2 days.
Yeah.
You didn't think that it was anything serious because in your head it was going to be so much worse than it actually was mentally to deal with. Tell me, did you experience any violence in prison?
Yeah, I did.
You experienced violence in prison?
Yeah.
Towards you or towards other people?
To both.
Tell me the worst situation that you feel like, not necessarily you did to somebody, but that you feel like you had a part of some sort. As I said, we're not trying to bring up anything old and
I
get
don't
everyone
mind
in kind
even
of trouble.
bringing it up, you know, because like I said, it's just all walkouts.
In
innit?
general or the first one?
In general.
The worst situation.
The worst situation.
The worst situation I ever got into workhouse is, obviously, you was with man.
I wasn't there.
You were with man.
Until you told me what we're talking about, I wasn't there, innit? No, go ahead, sorry. I'm joking.
So previously, before I bucked up into Switch on his wing, innit, obviously, I was in a jail called Bullingdon, innit?
Yeah.
And obviously, Switch was on a wing called D wing. I was on a wing called B wing. I got kicked off of my wing for banging out on my wing too much.
So banging out, you mean fighting, beating people
All
up?
type of thing, like jugging,
yeah.
all type of thing, work see on the wing.
Jogging means, so just people don't understand our catchphrase. Jogging means selling drugs. So you're selling drugs in
Just
prison.
work seeing everything. I don't know what it's called, but it's just
Okay.
work seeing the workhouse, innit? Like, you know what I'm saying? Man just work.
Okay.
So they
go
moved
ahead.
man off of that wing now. They had enough of man. They put me onto some wing I had beef with youths.
That was my wing, right?
No, it wasn't even your wing. It was C wing.
C wing. Okay.
So obviously C wing was a wing that obviously one situation we went to the legal visits. Legal visits is where you go for your visits to see your solicitor, so forth and whatnot. we've gone there, and obviously one of my friends had a altercation with some youth previously, and ended up boxing him in his mouth. Boxing means thumping him in his mouth, punch. He thumped him in his mouth now, and obviously like he just held the thump in it, and he just whatever happened after that happened after that. He's obviously recognised my face on the wing, and I've stepped onto the wing now, and obviously altercation has happened, and that. This is the worst thing that's happened. They tried to hot water me, and they tried to knife me. But they failed miserably.
Hold on. You know what? Explain to people what hot watering is.
Hot water is basically they boil the kettle, like they boil a kettle, and then they put sugar inside of it, syrup, all type of thing inside.
Why do
of
they
it.
do that?
So it sticks to your skin and burns, innit?
And then it peels your
It
skin.
peels
right?
your skin off and
Life changing forever.
Life changing scars and
Scars. Yeah.
So they tried to hot water, man. But obviously, like truthfully, like I mean, I'm not a liar. I'm not a cap rapper. I ran. I ran around the pool table type of thing. Like, I ain't finna get squirted.
Listen, it's not running away that's the
It's
issue.
just protecting.
It's
man.
if you come back.
Yeah, exactly. And I did.
Strategy
and I
is
did.
always a good thing. Some people run away to never come
on
back.
camera.
Some people run away to
Nicking.
come back and double down.
You know what I'm saying?
Double down policy.
Yeah, man, got goals. We know what goes on in the battlefield.
So how many people came to hot water you? Because you said
There was basically. So obviously, I was on crutches at the time. I broke my leg. Obviously, playing
you had
football.
it all happening.
Yeah, I had it all happening. I broke my leg playing football.
I remember when you had that broken leg actually.
You did. I moved off the wing, ended up going to an up wing, broke up leg. And then bam now, obviously still holding it down now, seeing these youths and that, still holding my ground. I went for dinner, and as I've gone for dinner, I was with my friend called Tin. He's one of my friends from the roads.
Yeah.
But obviously he left the jail, ended up coming back to the jail, bucking up on him on the up wing, and then it was like, oh, we were here together. Like bam now, so we've gone to dinner together now, and then bam, as we gone to dinner, we've come back onto the wing. All these youths, like, I've had a little altercation with them before I've gone for my dinner. I've seen them, and I was like, what the fuck you man looking at? Like, I agreed to them, innit? Like, Tim's like, no, they're wet. They're not on nothing. And I was like, so why are they looking at me like that? If they're not on nothing, why are they looking at me like that?
Yeah.
You get me? Tim's like, trust me, they're not on nothing. I was like, yeah.
They were making you feel anxious by the way they were.
Yeah, because obviously I just stepped onto
the
their
energy
wing.
They were trying to put
I just
towards
stepped on the wing.
you.
They're like, if you think you're bad, cuzzy, they're Asian youths. I'll do the Asian. If you think you're bad, cuzzy, come upstairs. Yeah, so obviously I'm just like, come downstairs, like, if you're bad, I'm like, come down here. I had my crutches. I'm like, come here, I'm here. Banging at my Gigajuke that I bought from Ammo, £1,000 for my stereo.
So Gigajuke's a big radio that everyone in prison goes crazy for because they store music onto the device. Very hard to get hold of. So we pay around average for, well, at this time recording, around £1,000 for Gigajuke. Same thing happens with hard drive, DVD players.
And I bought it cash, online banking. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? No dilly, no dally, no pilly, no pally. But anyway, fam, yeah. So, man banging at my set music. I tell them to come downstairs. They weren't coming downstairs. We cut long story short. We ended up going for our dinner. We've come back onto the spur. And then, bam. They've all surrounded me and my brethren Tin now. So, man's clock was going on. I threw my plate of dinner at them. Tin threw my plate of dinner, bang one of them. And then they just started just backed out their knives.
So
they had two knives. They had two knives.
Yeah.
Two youths had knives, and then one youth had a kettle. So he's backed out the kettle. The youth with the kettle literally chased me after the pool table, table tennis table. I blew. He threw it on my back. Yeah. Obviously, I didn't feel it. I didn't even know I got hot watered until I looked at my clothes in it, and then I seen it was like sugar and hot water in it, and that. And then bam, I blew off. The guards have all got involved in the middle of it and that.
So the officers have run.
The officers have run all in the middle of it. Yeah. As soon as I seen that, I see my opportunity. I ran back into the battlefield, and I just smoked one of the youths. Like, I iced them quickly, and yeah, they just like, gave my brethren a little nanking in his bum, like a little quick thing.
To your friend. To your friend.
They didn't nank me, cause I got away. I'm not that stupid.
So your friend got stabbed in his bottom. They tried to hot water you.
Yeah.
You defended yourself.
They didn't score on me.
Your friend got stabbed in his bottom.
Yeah, like, they didn't get stabbed. He got like, I don't know, like something.
Did anything come with that situation after that?
Basically, we all got nickings. He got extra days.
What's a nicking?
Nicking is basically you get arrested in prison.
Yeah. An adjudication.
Adjudication. The official name for it. You get adjudication. We all got nickings for it. Bam, them you there bust it. I bust it. They did some
so they beat
technicalities. They whipped my name wrong down.
They beat the case.
But Tin didn't bust it.
So the guy who got stabbed in his bottom, poor him.
He got extra days.
So he did extra jail
He got
time.
extra days.
So I should have laughed, Tim. I don't mean to mock you,
yeah.
because I know you. It's not
That
like
man
that.
nigga
But
take extra
my
days
God.
or whatever he got extra something. He got extra something, bro. They know they're wrong, bro. I bust it, bro. I bust it.
Okay. So that's the worst piece of violence you
That's the
expect in
no,
prison.
not worst piece of violence. That's the worst thing that's ever like people even think they're bad enough to do that to me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's the worst thing that happens.
Okay. Hear this. Taste my creme. TMC for sure. I'm not gonna say too much about it because this is strictly for the over 18s. But what I can say to you is Taste My Creme is the adult post-nudity social network. This is the network where you can post anything you want. This is the network you can say anything you want. You can be yourself. You can be unrestricted. Think OnlyFans meet Instagram. People are selling content, selling customized content. They're communicating, interacting, they're being themselves. Listen, go over, check it out if you're over 18, message someone you like, get to know people, post, be yourself. It's all happening. As I said, I won't say too much, but again, this is a platform that is really, really starting to do bits and making some great features for people. TMC, Taste My Creme, check it out on the ASAP. So how many times have you been to prison? You say you don't know how many times?
Yeah, don't know. More time I can't get.
If you were to try and estimate it, what would it be?
About 20.
20 times?
See, 20 gal, yeah?
You said it, my guy.
I
You said it, my guy.
I ain't crying that much, girl. I'm a grown man, man. I'm trying to be a nice man.
You know what? I respect the
I ain't
answer.
like that, man. I ain't a baddest no more.
I respect the answer.
Adult numbers.
Yeah, man. That's what I don't know, man.
Okay. So, what was the food like in prison for you?
Obviously, alright, cool. The first time I went to prison, I thought the food was gonna be bad. But obviously, I went to Feltham first time, and I went for a different YOs. I went to YO called Stoke Keith, and then Feltham.
I did Stoke Keith.
Yeah, but they had different menus on the food. Like, so in the Felts you have hash browns and that, you have like halal sausages, beans, blah blah blah, and that eggy bread and something like that. Obviously not eggy bread and that, I'm guessing it.
Is every Saturday or is it every Sunday?
Every Sunday, yo, man, how do you remember that?
The best part of the week. What? Saturday breakfast, Sunday roast chicken.
You remember you had to keep your telly on.
I didn't eat any other days. I don't eat prison food.
Also,
I
to
cook.
keep your telly on and that, you had to have like 10 throughout the week.
Yeah. What do you mean had the 10?
Remember?
I don't remember.
Am I the only
I
one?
remember they used to turn the
You
TV
remember?
off at
If you
11.
get 3 lower than 7,
bro.
Yes, bro.
your
Your
power
TV's
stage
off.
That must have been the new
power
team.
stage off.
You're chatting to the girl
Yeah,
for about
bro.
4 hours. Like, brother, man, like,
Watching a movie just after this
like, come on,
movie.
you know I've been good this whole week, man.
So I remember when I went to Feltham, they just automatically switched it off at 11.
Okay.
That was it. You were
Yeah,
tired.
yeah,
But I
they
should
did.
explain this doesn't happen.
But it's only the weekends.
No, they did it every day when I was there.
No,
It was
but you
technical.
get, if you have 10 every day throughout the 5 days, you get your TV on the weekend.
So when I say 10, I don't assume because I don't know about it.
You need to clean
I'm
yourself.
So if
Your
you're
bed
not,
needs to be made. You need to have your clothes folded up. You need to
so
have
you used to have your TV turned off because you were dirty.
curtains. That was fun. No.
Okay, so we're talking about what were we talking about? We're talking about Feltham. Talking about them turning off the TVs. I was saying I don't remember. They didn't do that in my time. My time they just came at 11 o'clock every weekday and just turned it off. You're saying in your time
They did the same
turned-
thing in your time. They did the exact same thing. They turned off your telly and that. But if you during the week,
Yeah.
during the 5 days of the week, if you got 10 out of 10 for your cleaning of your room progress or whatever it is, what do you call it?
Yeah.
It's true.
They'll give you your TV on the weekend, only on the weekend, for the whole time.
Hold on, you was in Feltham with me. So talk about all this. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
No, it's true. It's developments, isn't it?
Yeah.
So speak up.
It's developments, it is what it is. What you're saying is true. There's developments, levels and stages, phases
Okay.
and all of that.
Okay. So what I more want to understand when we understand that it's about cleanliness was your TV on more time or off more time?
My TV was off, brother.
So you were nasty.
It's not even nasty, bro. Like the things they ask you to clean, bro.
Because a lot of men don't clean their cell. What was you doing?
You was with me in prison, innit? Fam? My thing was obviously good, innit? Like,
Just clean your cells, clean
My
your
thing-
wing, sort yourself
But it was
out.
it wasn't just your cell and your wing. It was your bed has to be made to how they wanted it to. Your clothes have to be.
And how
folded,
was that?
And the
Bin gotta
skirting
be
board.
emptied.
The
Why is
skirting board has to be clean.
Curtains need to be up.
The curtain has to be up. Your trousers, you comes into that. Your trousers has to be tucked in. Your shirt has to be tucked into your trousers. This ain't no joke, bro. Like they didn't just ask for this clean and
What about your behaviour?
your behavior as well. That's the
that's
the
what I
key.
remember. I
That's the
remember your
key.
behaviour would be
That's
the
the
factor.
key. So you can clean up everything, but if you don't behave yourself, like you see, if you're running up your mouth to the govs and that, like, and that's why I never got it. Cause I run up my mouth. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Okay. So, how many? So we said you think you've been to jail about 20 times.
Yeah.
Which is an amazing.
That's just
number.
being realistic, bro. Fam, I could have been more, bro. But I'm just being realistic, man.
So,
Like, you know what I'm saying?
how much time do you think you spent in prison overall?
Every year. Alright, cool. So my first time I went to jail was 2005, 2006.
But an approximate amount of time. If you put everything
2006.
together,
I
how
was in
much
jail
would you say?
2006. Yeah, 3 months. 2007 I was in jail 6 months. 2008 I was in jail 6 months. These are all remand cases, innit? As the longest remand cases, so 5.5 months to 6 months. That's how long they keep you on remand for, innit? And most times I was getting back for cases and just being on remand for it.
Yeah.
Like, the most sentence I got was
So you were arrested for a crime.
yeah.
They took you to prison to investigate the crime.
And because
then
the crime
they
was so
invest-
serious, they couldn't give me bail. And because I
Yeah.
used to always do dumb things like skip bail, not abide by the conditions and whatnot, they sent me to prison.
Okay. And when they investigated that crime,
Mm-hmm.
they found out that you weren't the perpetrator of the crime and released you. That's what
That's
remand
right.
time
That's
is, right?
That's right.
So altogether, remand time and convicted time, where they said we believe that you did this. How much time do you think you spent in prison?
Oh, I don't even know, man. That's like asking
You've
me.
never calculated it.
Never calculated it.
Do you not care about the amount of time it is?
Nah, man.
Why
I come
don't
in
you?
and I come out. Like, I'm just happy to be out. Like, man, on the battlefield again. Like, man, out here. Like, I just can't believe it. Like, man's just on the roads and breathing air. You know when you breathe that air? Like, they don't understand. Unless they breathe that air when you come out of prison, you don't even care how long
But
you
it's
in prison
true
no
though.
more.
The air's fresh.
The
Did you
air
not
is
find it?
fresher.
The air's fresher.
Everything's
outside.
green.
Yeah.
Everything looks more green.
But I'll tell you what.
Especially when you come out the block.
I'll tell you what I relate to in some regard of that is I always find it amazing when I come out of prison how quickly I forget what prison feels like.
That's a big fact.
But you know,
Yeah.
shall I tell you what will help you with that? Go to the Bud Clark supermarket and buy some nougat, fam, yeah?
I don't eat noodles.
Yeah, me neither, but I just buy them just to have them.
No.
Yeah? And some mackerel.
I don't want no noodles.
Some mackerel from some all-purpose, fam. You need to
I'm
learn.
not eating no roast potatoes. None of that. And I refuse to smoke a roller.
Oh, fucking hell, man. You're adamant.
I refuse.
You're adamant. I need all of those things to remind me. I still
I hear
eat
that.
a nougat. I still eat a mackerel. Like, you hear me? And I'm
you
deadly
remind you
serious
what?
as well, bro, with a sweet corn as well. And bread.
I told you to remind you of what?
Or just to remind me of where I was. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's so easy to just go from
I
restaurant,
thought it would've been
yeah,
remind
to
you
fucking
of-
mackerel and
back.
nougat
Yeah,
again.
but all of these reminders you got, you're going back. So do you like the noodles? Like, what's happening?
You know, it's almost like man still is traditionalized.
You know. You know what? Institutionalized.
Institutionalized,
You've got
bro.
words that we find it difficult to pronounce.
You get it, from man's
Yeah.
like that. It's like man's that still, cause man's still got my TV like in my room, big screen TV. Man's got my blood clot stereo, the mackerel, the nougat in the blood clot cupboard.
So
All of that, like it's like
institutionalism is a very real and serious
very,
thing.
very real.
And everybody suffers it in different ways. So what is the number one thing that you would say when you come home, you find yourself doing that you know was picked up in prison, a habit or a thought process that continues with you after prison?
Till now,
Yeah.
me personally,
Yeah, you personally.
me personally, is rolling one paper zoots.
Oh my god.
A one paper means a small Rizzler. You
Till
put in
this
a
day.
weed. Because in jail, obviously, you don't want to.
Oh look, Doozy, slay it louder for them.
This guy, yeah, can't lie.
You get it?
No, but I remember actually, we were both in prison with Soulja, and I just remember you and one of our audience members constantly being comatized with the amount of weed that you were smoking,
Call my
you
time.
come into your cell, you'd be on the side dribbling, don't even know we're in the cell.
A man couldn't even smoke a zoot without me knowing whose cell it's coming from. Before I get patting him. It's like, yo, whose cell is that coming from, bro? Man, need a zoot, fam. Like, you know what I mean? Think man are smoking without me. Think man are banging up without zoots.
Don't miss the
Hey, dudes, am I lying, fam?
Every day.
Every
I
day.
remember.
Don't miss the principle.
So glad I got evidence, you know.
So with the amount of weed that you were smoking, actually there's a number of questions that we can take from that, but we won't delve into all of them. With the amount of weed that you were smoking, the big question that everyone's going to be asking was how, and again, we're not trying to put anybody, we're not trying to dry snitch, how did you obtain that amount of weed, marijuana, illegal products in prison to be smoking so regularly that the staff wasn't even trying to stop you? They just gave up on you. They were like, he smokes weed.
Man smoking it before canteen, like man, all type of things.
But how did you come across so much weed in this time?
Like, you know, it's just like man's pattern, innit? Like, you see when you're patting you, you're just a pattern you.
What does that mean?
Like,
What does pattern mean?
pattern means like when you're just when you got your shit together. Once you're just a person that's got their shit together.
So you were somebody in prison.
Somebody, very much a somebody. You know what I'm saying? Very much.
And because you were somebody, how did
And
you
I wasn't just a
come
somebody on one wing. You know what I'm saying? I was a somebody on that wing, and every wing. You know
So
what I'm saying?
being that you were a somebody, how did this weed? This is all we really want to get to the bottom of it.
Go on.
How did you come to be in possession of so much weed? How is this coming to you? Because it shouldn't be within the prison walls according to the prison rules.
How did it get there? Like, you know what I'm saying? Man just plotting, man just a correct youth, and man found ways to get it there.
Okay, so that's your answer to the
That's
question.
my
You're not
answer to the
answering.
question. Man found ways.
I respect your stance.
Like that app from the navigation. Man found ways.
So did you cheeks your weed? Did you keep your weed
Now I
in
didn't
your
cheat
bum
nothing, I had it in my hand.
So you just kept your weed in your hand
Feeling it,
24 hours a
feeling
day?
it a day, 24/7 a day. Shower time come, social time come,
What wing was you
canteen
on?
time. Huh?
What wing was you on?
I was on B wing. That was my main wing, and then I moved to Switch in Lance's wing on D wing.
Yeah.
After I got into my altercation.
Scrubs or one?
Well, that was in Bullingdon. Scrubs, I was in C wing, 2017, 2016.
So you never cheeks your weed?
Never cheated me.
I cheeks my weed. I don't even smoke that.
I don't think that works.
I cheeks my weed. I cheeks my SIM card. I cheeks my USB. Anything valuable to me. Listen, I told you. I just spoke about institutionalism. I told you a way that I was institutionalized. I spent so much, and when I say cheeks, I mean putting stuff between my bum cheeks because it's the one place you can't search, and it's the one place you can tell me to squat, and I will squat and get up, and it will still be here. Now, one way that I was institutionalized is I spent so many years taking my SIM card out of my illegal mobile phone and putting my weed and my USB that had all my movies and my
I
boxes
remember.
on it.
Your thing was different. Grown man, older man thing.
No, real talk. I spent
it's
so
not-
many years doing that. I would come home and I'd be sleeping, and 4 a.m. I'd get up and just be like this.
Yeah.
Because I'd be thinking, I cannot feel it.
Yeah, 100%. No,
And,
100%.
and in jail, when you can't feel it, you know it's on the bed. And when it's on the bed, then they come through the door 6 in the morning.
Yeah, man.
You get a
lying
nicky.
to it.
Clap down.
You're finished, right? That was my institutionalism. But okay, all right. So let's move on. So you're not really sure how many years you spent in prison.
A load of years though.
Okay, so
Like, cool. All of my youth man years.
What would it be like
17,
less than
18,
10?
19, 20. 19 actually. 19 I started to buckle up my ideas. I started to make money. That was the days that I stopped the prison. So like I said, from 2005 up until 2010, I had a little bad run.
yeah.
And then from 2010 to 2014, I was calm.
So what was the most serious offence you ever went to prison for?
Selling drugs.
God, say that so violently.
Selling drugs. Like, bro, I never thought I would have got bagged. I never thought I would have got bagged. Like literally, I'm gonna say it proudly, I got
Have
bagged.
you done bird for food?
I never thought I would have got bagged.
Have you done bird for food?
No bird, because the first time I
So
got
we
bagged.
got an audience member asking if you've ever been to prison for drugs.
Yeah, I have.
Okay, so that was the most serious thing you ever went to prison for was for selling drugs.
Yeah, selling drugs.
Approximately what are we talking? Crack, heroin,
Crack and
weed?
heroin.
What's your longest prison sentence?
2.5 years.
2.5.
So approximately how much drugs did they catch you with to give you 2.5
They caught me
years?
with 8 wraps.
8 wraps.
Of what?
But they didn't, of heroin.
So you were arrested for 8 raps, and 8 raps just.
But I had 2 food cases in a previous area, in my area. So I got caught with about 21 of light, and then 5 of dark, and then 8 raps was the main case.
So they took that into consideration when
and
sending you
then
to prison.
they sent a letter through my door like, you're being charged with this other case, the 21 raps, and I just went guilty for all of them.
So when we say raps, what we're talking about is, I'm assuming,
Crack cocaine, stones, pebbles.
0. We're talking about 0.1 grams
0.94
of heroin is what we would call a rap.
Yeah,
Rap or crack.
Literally.
Is what we would call
like 10 pound stones, 5 pound stones.
So you got caught with 8 raps of 10 pound
stones,
stones, but because you had previous and other cases pending, they felt like, you know.
I didn't have, that was my first case. Basically, what happened is I got caught previously with a knife on me, a knife, which a knife is called a knife. That's what we call it.
Yeah.
I got caught with a knife on me and some food, 21 pebs and 5 pebs of that. I got found. They just let me go, bail. They bailed me for that. They never got charged. I got caught a month later in another area with 8 raps on me. As I got caught with that, they charged me for that. I've gone prison. Month later, they sent the letter through my door for the other one. Like, yeah, this guy, we're charging you for this knife and we're charging you for this woman, man. I pleaded not guilty for the knife and then pleaded guilty for both the food cases, and then that's it.
Okay, cool. So your time in prison's come to an end. Hopefully you're never going to see it again. Or do you not care? Do you care if you go to prison again?
But I do care, man. Of course I care about it. You know what I'm saying? It comes with the life, innit? Like, if you're living a certain way, it comes with it. You have to understand that. You can't be oblivious. That's all I'll say. But I don't plan on going back to prison anytime soon.
Okay. So, I mean, I'd like to ask you about after prison, but...
Yeah, you can.
I mean, you sound like you're on a merry-go-round.
Yeah, no, I'm not going back to prison. Yeah, you man.
You're done?
Yeah, I'm done, fully. I'm starting up a business. You got to ask me about afterlife prison. Yeah, round of applause.
So,
business.
Tell me about some of the things that you're doing to try and progress your life and not put you in a situation like that again.
Basically, well, I love fashion, innit? And I love buying clothes, and I just love buying stuff, innit? I just love spending money, innit? So obviously, I've changed my venture from spending to now buying and selling. I started up a label called Sold Out Instantly, Soy, S-O-I.
Again, let's give a round of applause for that. Congratulations.
Thank you.
A link to that will be in the description if you'd like to see it.
100% it will be there. So obviously, I started up that now, and obviously, it was just basically a thing that started from prison. Basically, because I spend so much money, the man just like, yo, you're soy sauce, innit? You're like soy sauce. Like, yeah, so I just like, oh, that sounds right. Yeah, soy. And I just run with it, and then I just call myself Sold Out Instantly because I sell things out instantly. You know what I'm saying? So it just goes hand in hand, and then bam, bam, bam. Now I've turned it into a proper business. I've trademarked it, everything, so people can't thief my things. And then bam, you know what I'm saying? Put it onto clothing now, and it's coming out at the end of the month.
Congratulations. Genuinely, we'll clap for anything positive, and I pray that you never see another prison cell again, my guy.
Thank you, my boss.
You're also an up-and-coming emerging rapper. Would you call yourself that?
Yeah, rapper, musician, entertainment, whatever. Like, I'm all of that. Trying.
What are you trying to do with your music? Where are you trying to take it?
I'm just trying to just get a buzz. You know what I'm saying? I'll be real with you. I'm just trying to get a buzz and just make peas in it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Just like sell things to people that buy stuff with me. That's legit. Like water bottles, t-shirts.
So you're just trying many different avenues to attempt to make money other than selling crack and heroin at this point.
Because I used to come from the battlefield life, and I'm changing my life now. So I'm just trying to do better things.
I appreciate that, and I understand that.
Thank you.
So with that being said, would you like to give us a freestyle today and let people hear a sample of what it is that you do?
Come on.
You know what it is?
I mean, no pressure.
Yeah.
No pressure.
You know what it is? You know what I prefer?
I
prefer, you know what it is? I've got the bars, but I prefer you to play the song.
How? You gonna dance to it? Like,
Yeah, I can dance to it, like, you know what I'm saying? I can.
We don't have the facilities today to actually play the song in the background. We only got
So
one.
you're saying you really want to hear the bars?
Bars on bars.
We can't play acapella, we can't play a beat or
Bars
nothing.
on bars.
I mean, someone
bro.
can clap and
trust
two
in
step for
yourself.
you.
I trusted myself,
Bars.
but like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I prefer you.
Alright, Roller's gonna beatbox.
Yeah. Go on, the beatbox now. You beatbox. No, it's beatbox.
I mean,
Hit them with a
As
pen,
I said,
man.
there's
Hit
no
them with some
pressure.
real
If it's not
shit,
for
man.
right now,
Yeah. So we're gonna give me a topic. Drugs, healing.
oh, you're gonna freestyle.
No, freestyle. I've got different types of bars I can spit.
So just give us your favorite or one of your favorites.
I ain't got a favourite, but I just got like some shit that relates to me in society.
Oh,
You understand me a bit better.
please. Sorry.
You understand where I'm coming from, and you know like my picture of life, and even though like I came from prison, I'm trying to better myself and rah.
Give an opinion.
So let me spit the bars now.
Okay, we got you.
Came up hard, didn't care about a credit score, but it ain't hard to make hard when you get it raw. I put it in the pot till it got hotter than Benidorm. Water that's a little drop in it, looks like my bedroom door. Was hands on with the phone, ain't got mine anymore. Back then it was very poor. Me and my brother Paul, teething from soccer sport, being in the gutter course. I don't believe what they talk. Beef ain't beef if there's not a corpse. I just get peas off these onions chopping on the chopping board. I just got a call and he says he wants a 4s. 3 and 1's not anymore. I'm moving up in them boards. I just want a board on a flight. I just got a call for some white. It's midnight. I think I should call it at night. But it's 24s and I think I need to move this all tonight. I think that I'll be alright, but I'm not in the mix. He wants to offer 5 bills, then it's gotta be mixed. Dual heritage, light and melanin. Money can buy many things, but it can't buy love, even if you get a wedding ring.
Round of applause for that. Well done.
Thank you. I will take off the hat, but
You know you're hot.
no, what? Comedian.
Okay. Well, we wish you many successes in your businesses, in your companies. Wish you many success in your music. What we like to do on the show is at the end of it. Sorry, bro, please. Smarts, please. Outside of people. What we like to do at the end of the show is, because this is not just about prison. This is about what do people of your background, of your personality, of which there's many different, think about various topics within society. So we like to ask each of our interviewees 3 random questions that the interviewee and the panel can answer to wrap the interview up. You ready to do that?
Yep, ready.
Okay. Pause on that. I'm gonna pull out my phone, but I know you got. Would you like to ask a couple questions, Katya? Everyone, this is Katya's my friend.
Hey, Katya.
Hey.
Would you like to ask 3 random questions?
What, 3 random questions?
It could be about anything.
Anything,
If
man.
not, I'll pull out my phone. There's no pressure. You got
I'll ask anything, innit?
Okay. So today our question is gonna come from Katya. She's gonna ask Soulja and myself and Lance 3 random questions, and we're just gonna give you our opinion on them. Doesn't mean we're right or wrong, so please don't try and attack us for it. But we'll tell you what we think. Katya, when you're ready.
Alright, so I'm just trying to understand why when men go into prison, why do they come out Muslim every time?
Oh my gosh, that's a bangingest question she asked.
So let me.
That is
I'm
30.
not confused, but I'm just like.
You know why that's 30?
Understand.
What was we just talking
Wait,
about?
So let me just double down on that for anyone who didn't hear that.
You just
Katya asked, why is it that when people go to prison, they all seem to come out Muslim? Go ahead, boys. Go ahead.
Me, I just say, I cool. Some people, you know what it is? I'll tell you something here. I've been with cabman Muslim man, yeah? And I'm not Muslim. But you see the cabman Muslim man, the way Muslims that they approach you to convert, they preach to you and you listen, you would want to convert. But when you're in prison, it's usually to protection. And it's simple.
What do you mean protection?
Basically, like, obviously, some man will grease you down to turn Muslim.
They what?
They'll grease you up, innit? Like,
What does
But
grease mean?
I heard, yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I heard when you.
if you're not a Muslim, the man ain't rocking with you.
But I heard when you convert, you get like more time out of your cell and that. Or not?
Nah. What the hell did you get that from?
Alright.
Yeah, that was an American.
So Katya said that she heard that when people convert to Islam in prison, they get privileges like being out of their time, their cell, etc. Definitely false. In fact, when you convert to Islam in prison, you're much more likely to not leave prison. But that's a whole nother story.
Literally.
What are your thoughts?
My thoughts. It's a sign of weakness, really, in the sense that most people get into prison and some people are vulnerable, and it's sort of a shelter to get protected from whoever it is that you're in trouble with or you think you might be in trouble with. So
say for instance, I witnessed a few people convert to Muslim because they got bullied. They had problems with some of the dudes, and the only way for them to get back in was obviously they converted. And some people obviously try to use that as a way to get them to convert, right? So a lot of times it's because they backed up against the wall and they can't fight for themselves. So they rather join something that, you know, you probably get 20 people backing you. Because obviously, if it's one of the things like, listen, you can't touch him, no one's gonna touch him. Yeah, I've witnessed that personally. So yeah, I think sometimes it's just a lot of people afraid, and a lot of people ain't got a spine. Yeah.
So my opinion is a little bit different, and I probably have a little bit of a different stance because I am a Muslim, and I'm also a Muslim who converted in prison in 2007. I agree with the sense that there is some people who convert to Islam for protection. This more so happens because within Islam, there's a beauty of Islam where we believe you are my brother, you're my sister. There's a saying that says, if your brother, your Islamic brother or sister is pinched on the other side of the world, you should feel it. That means if you have any problems, whether it's financial, mental, or anything else, I'm obligated to help you. I'm obligated to protect you. There's also saying within Islam that it is haram. That means it's forbidden to run away from war. That means if you attempt to attack me, whilst I might strategically leave, I am obligated by my religion. Please, if I've got this wrong and anybody thinks that they would like to disagree with me, I apologize. This is my understanding. I'm obligated to react to that. These are things within Islam. So some people see the brotherhood within Islam and they see the stance within Islam. I mean, the gun signs with Islam is not with us, it's not Muslim. I just want to put that out there now.
Kufar.
Definitely a kufar. Kuf, as we call it. Yeah. So there's a lot of beautiful things within Islam, but just like all religions, people take advantage of good things. I know you're very clear Christian. I don't really know what your stance is, but I know you're very clear Christian. You go to church regularly, and I think you'd be quite offended if people attempted to suggest that you converted to Christianity or got more in depth into Christianity because you were fearful of anything that was going on, just because more people within that environment had a bigger sense of protection of those around them. Now, personally, I don't think anyone in this room or in our audience would say that I'm a vulnerable individual. However, I converted to Islam, and personally I converted to Islam because before that I came from a background of atheism where my mother and my family don't believe in anything. Having gone to prison, I remember I had some beautiful Christian brothers attempting to talk to me about this for a long time, and I wasn't really paying any attention. I was very ignorant to it. I was very closed-minded to any kind of concept outside of my realm of normality, until eventually, after spending a long time on basic, and basic is something when you haven't got the TV, wasn't because my cell was dirty, he was on the next thing. So when you haven't got your TV and people are talking to you and you start to internalize the thoughts and words that are being said to you, it started to seep in, and it started to make me want to explore Islam. And what made me explore Islam more than Christianity?
Can I pause you?
No, sorry, come back to me.
Do your thing.
So what made me explore Islam was I also explored Christianity, having a grandmother who was very much Christian, church twice a week. I lived in Guyana for a number of weeks, church twice a week. You go to church, the pastor talks about you, and I always felt like, and you're within your rights to disagree with me, anybody, but I felt I felt like I couldn't verify anything within Christianity.
I can't verify anything in religion, bro. I believe in God,
I'm gonna go
spiritual,
back
but
to what you're
this
saying
religion
about
thing, book and
connotation.
Let me finish my point, please. So when I started to explore Islam, I was also going through a time in my life where I was exploring history and other concepts outside of my normality, and I found that a lot of things that were written in Quran or in Hadith, which is the stories of the Quran, I could factually check within Islam, and that gave me the security more than anything that I felt to say, you know, if there is a religion that's real, I think it's that one.
So, Did you read the Quran?
Of course I read the book.
Have you read a Bible?
I've read the Bible.
Okay.
I've read
Did you find them similar or?
Well, I've read the Torah. No, let me not lie. I haven't read the Torah. I've read the Quran. I've read the Bible. I've read books like The Secret because I very much believe in,
Okay, so I was
in
gonna ask
energy.
my next question. What was everyone's favourite book in prison?
Urban Box, man.
No.
Cartel! The Cartel!
Cartel.
Mia Moore!
1 to 7.
My nigga Mia Moore! My nigga Mia Moore!
He got stand up.
I think you wanted to say something, innit?
Let's do your question first. No, go ahead. So we were talking.
No,
we couldn't
I'm
take
just trying to.
what you were saying when we were talking.
When you were speaking, I'm going back to me and your initial connection.
Mm.
Right? And it wasn't about no Bible, it wasn't about no book, it was about
Of
a
course,
connection.
of course.
Thoroughbred.
Mm.
Yeah. And
So can you just talk up just for anyone who can't hear you off camera?
So
Don't be scared.
I'm just trying to say. So from our connection, mine and yours, yeah.
Very
It
pure.
was different.
Yeah.
It was different. It was all up. It was very different. So I don't know. Don't just go and do it.
No,
Can
carry on,
I
please.
add to this point?
So
Go on.
Let him just finish his point. I want to really hear what he's
No,
going
because
with.
you know what it is. I'm gonna start doing more. But boom. How me and you connected
Yeah.
was different.
Mm.
Different. No one can't say anything about that. And
What, you say connected on a religious standpoint or?
it wasn't even a religious standpoint.
Oh, you
the
mean
most,
just
that's the
bedrooms?
most important thing.
Yeah.
It wasn't even
Coke, innit?
It wasn't even about a religious standpoint.
Wanna drink off my
religious
camera?
standpoint, a bias standpoint. It was about a real standpoint. I saw him, he saw me. You know? And then we was there for different reasons, different seasons. You get what I'm trying to say? And then, but we connected, and it was a madness. It was a Royal Rumble. If you remember wrestling, right? Do you get what I'm saying? That's what it was, Switch, right or no?
Definitely.
Right.
Yeah.
So, and then he was filling in a gap for someone that was not on his level, or not on his path, but because they crossed paths, you get it? And I feel like I was like a third party in viewing, get me? But I saw you, and me and you connected a little bit differently, not in the majorly, but we connected enough to me say, ah, cool. These ones they're infiltrating. You're the real deal. You get it?
I feel that was a mutual respect that we had for each other at that point of meeting each other.
Talking about the first scrap on the pool table when nobody else was there, and
So for those that are off camera and possibly can't always hear you, I remember that. First one I want to say is that we're going to talk about the relationship. This is my friend Smiles, he's in the audience. We're going to talk about our relationship when you come and do your interview. So tune into the next episode if they're not watching that one now. I remember the situation you're talking about.
that's how we got connected. You know that, right?
When I broke the kid's nose, I remember.
And everything started flying.
I remember.
Everything started flying, bro.
No, I remember what happened. So what happened was we connected in the gym. Maybe you don't remember. Your codee was Money, and my codee was Jerome. And Jerome and Money had a friendship. Some light skin relationship was going
I
on,
remember that day.
right? And we met. No disrespect to light skin people. We met in the gym. You always been big as hell. I thought you was a ringer. I thought you was lying about your age. And we started. You showed me a couple of things. I was really skinny these times, etc., etc. So to me, that then made you my friend. Because my Cody's got a relationship with your Cody being your co-defendant, the person you went to prison with. I then got kicked off of a wing I was on for having a fight or putting in work, as we say. I got moved to your wing. And I remember we were playing pool, right? And I don't know what you did to this little kid, but he decided it was within his best interest to pick up a chair and hold it over his head to go to throw the chair at you, and everybody kind of froze. And I think when he froze, I think somebody, was it you that hit him or I hit him? Somebody hit him, but he ran into a corner, right? And when he ran, imagine 40 people. How many people were in Feltham? Maybe 40 people,
30,
people,
30, 25.
all under the age of 18,
25, yeah.
chasing this one kid into a corner. And there was this little black woman officer. She was a blessing. She's maybe about 50 years old.
Oh.
She was really protective, and she ran and put her arms out and kind of blocked off everybody getting through. You remember we all kind of stood there and watched this kid in the corner while the woman held her arms out, and we all kind of shouted at him. And I think what you're talking about is I snuck underneath. I'm not promoting this, by the way, but I mean I snuck underneath the woman and broke his nose, for lack of a better term. And that was the beginning of our lifelong friendship. As bad as it was, that situation ended badly for me actually. But then
Code D that you wasn't familiar with like that.
But I remember what happened after that. I remember that was the first time I got beaten up by officers. I remember a couple hours later.
You talk about that to the people. And they whaps you down.
I remember that was
Bro, it happened.
And they whaps you down. They give you some fuck licks.
So I remember. So I remember a couple of hours after that, being in my cell. People who know me for a long time remember I had plaits hanging down here. It's gone now. And I remember being in my cell chilling, plaiting my hair. All of a sudden, when the gym staff come for you, you got problems.
It was mad.
Yeah? The gym staff is one scale beneath. We're gonna fuck up your life.
Punch your
Fuck
ass.
up your life is when they get up in the black and the body wearing the protection, right? The gym staff came and I had my hair out and I was plaiting my hair. I wasn't paying them no mind because I thought I was super gangster. And I just remember leaning on the radiator with one foot doing this. And I remember this guy walking in with a blue t-shirt, which is the gym staff uniform, and all he did was this. Bam. Put me on the floor and beat the shit out of me. And it's the first time I ever saw the segregation. That same they beat the shit out of me. They battered me. I went to the block. I was scared. I didn't even know what the block was.
Battered. Beaten.
Have you ever been beaten by the prison staff?
Beaten. Scrubs. Beaten. Oh my Jesus Christ, man.
Trauma.
Beaten.
Alright,
I got scars.
Let's go on to Katya's. Sorry, get back to your question because we're gonna stop this soon. Your favourite book was?
Cartel. I can't lie, the Cartel or Animal.
Who wrote that? Do you remember?
Animal.
The Animal Monster
K1. No, K1. Animal Monster Cody. Oh, you're my brother. I love that one.
Come on, bro. You have to do this.
Come on. Sanika Shakur.
Yes.
Thank you very much. I know about that book.
My favourite book was probably, well, I kind of educated myself in prison through myself means and books that my family was sending me. So my favourite book, which is probably the book that started it all, and I'm not saying by any way educated because I'm not great at a lot of things, was probably Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert T.
I read that as well.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
That
big book. Wait. The Joe man and have to say that's a big book.
I learned a lot about
To this day.
I learned a lot about financial literacy.
Trust me.
In that book. Your favourite book, sir?
I think it would be Rich Dad Poor Dad, and I think I read Strength for Adversity.
Why was it's a self-help book? Right? Why was that so influential?
Rich Dad Poor Dad in the sense that kind of financial literacy, and Strength for Adversity is just one of those books. It's kind of like an uplifting book.
I can't lie, I want to change up my one. My one's Harry Potter. My one's Harry Potter.
Wait,
Harry Potter.
I read every Harry Potter.
Harry Potter
was lit.
Harry Potter. You know what it is? I'm acting like I liked all these books. The rest of them, I read them. Harry Potter. That's my book.
What was the best one though? What was the best one?
The Lost.
Nah, that was scary.
Part 1 and part 2.
It was the Chamber of Secrets of the Snake. Was it the Chamber of Secrets?
Yeah.
Going the Snake, right? That was
Say that again.
Or the Gryffindor.
Impacted you the most out of everything.
Out of what? The books?
What impacted you?
Out of what? Prison or jail?
In the books, the jail, everything.
What impacted me? What impacted me? Well, you have to ask that properly, you know. What impacted me out of prison?
So what made?
What was the biggest
I
impact
don't know.
Joe had on you?
He didn't say that though.
We're gonna move on in a minute because the battery's gonna die. So I want to wrap this up. We've got one more question to ask, but we're gonna ask you the question that I always remember asked you quickly. What impacted you the most in prison, positively or negatively?
The most positive thing that impacted me in prison is being able to financially save my money. You know what I'm saying? Like, let me tell you something. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't know about the rest of these bros, innit? Like, me, I'm a different bro. I spend bare peas. So me going to prison is a good thing because it stops me from spending certain peas and being able to pattern up my life and strategize, innit? Write down notes and know what I'm going to do when I come out. Because when I'm on the roads, I'm kind of like influenced by people, innit? I'm easily influenced by people, and I'm quickly to do what everybody else is on in it because my brethren, my friendship groups, we all get money and we all do things like spend money. But when I was in prison, I didn't get to spend money like that. So I think that's the best impact it had on me still, not being able to spend.
I don't think too many people.
Now go on, speak.
No, stop.
I'm
We'll do that next.
this, so money is your motivation. Is that what you're saying?
Like it's the best impact in prison for like not spending.
In
like,
prison or on the road?
in prison, because it actually wasn't impacting me the most, which was saving money because I didn't know how to save properly when I was on the roads. But when I was in jail,
So when you was on,
You got a lot to say. We're gonna bring you into interview soon. You can ask all your questions.
I have a lot to say too.
We wait to. You said a lot. We love you. Appreciate you being here. We're gonna wrap it up soon. Now, can we ask your last question, Kaya?
Alright, so after the first time you went prison, if you went first time, would you say it mentally fucked you up?
Yes, 1,000,000%. Like I don't say it fucks you up. It doesn't fuck you up like that. You don't know what's going on. Like you go bipolar, but it's like there's certain things that you're used to on the roads that you're used to in the roads. So you become more anxious, like on the roads. Like you don't know what's what in it. You're not used to like things change, times change. Like they're not walking around with like 4-inch borers no more. They're walking around with 15-inch, 12-inch borers. So you got to adjust quickly in it. So it does kind of fuck with you because when you go jail, when you're in jail, you was the man before you went jail. But when you go jail, when you come out, them are the man now.
Yeah, yeah.
So time catches up with you so quickly you don't even know.
Yeah.
And before you know it, you're a grown man. You're not a youth man no more. You're a big man in this thing and you can't do the same shit that you was doing then. Or you're going to be living that life of snapbacks. You're going to try to be them bears from them days.
So you think that the first time in prison definitely affected you?
100% affected me, bro. Like you know, the more I went, it affected me, innit? Because I didn't know it was affecting me. That's where it affects you.
So for me, I definitely agree with the last sentence you mentioned. Prison affected me very badly, but it's only in my later years that I can see how much it affected me the first time I went to prison. And for those that don't know, the first time I went to prison, I was given about 91 or 99 years, what we call consecutive, which means I've got a number of different sentences that all went into the largest one being the only one that I really had to serve the term of. So my largest one was 8 years. So I did 5.5 years of that. 2/3 was the law at the time. I was released from prison, and within 4 months, I'd caught myself indeterminate sentence, which is a UK version of a mini life sentence. So I won't go into that now because this is my interview.
How many years is that?
I won't go into that now because this is my interview, but it was definitely a problem. I served 8 years off of my 6-year indeterminate sentence. And yeah, it's been a cycle, but again, for you.
This one's
Would you
type
say you
strange.
came out the same person?
In a sense, yeah, I did, but it's sort of.
But I feel like with you, you're kind of mentally I wouldn't say you two ain't mentally strong.
I hear what you're gonna say though.
Some-
Nah, I feel what you're saying.
You're a bit more like kind of laid back.
He's exactly the same way he was in
You know
prison.
what I
This is
mean?
how he was.
What it
He's a
is,
very disciplined person.
Discipline.
It affected
That's
me
the
in the sense
word
I was
you
very
say, right?
impatient prior to going to prison. So when I got to prison, it kind of humbled me and it kind of put things into perspective. So if I was being a bit irrational or
Sorry, what did you go to prison for?
importation,
Okay.
yeah, so it sort of made me, I became more humble, and obviously I had a bit more patience. I don't think it really affected me mentally though. The only thing is I was just pissed off that I got caught. 110, like I was just pissed off I got caught, and I was just pissed off I was away from some of my loved ones, and that was it.
So obviously I know you very well. I was a co-D. We met again in prison. We struck up a very good friendship, and we became co-defendants in a case with a lying bastard that tried to put us in prison. But wouldn't you say that going to prison made you less of a risk taker?
Well, now, yeah. I think the second time kind of humbled me even more, because I've been in prison twice. So the second time it was just like, fuck this. Like, certain risk that I probably would have taken before, I wouldn't even think about it now. Like, I probably just like, fuck this, I'm not doing it.
Became hypersensitive to a lot of situations, right?
And it sort of made me become more aware of people, certain people, if you know what I mean. I think we talked about that earlier. Yeah, but 100%, yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, more aware of certain people.
Yeah.
What kind of people?
Right, so back then, sort of, there's about 1 million types of people, as we all know. So there's certain people that sort of put up a front about they could get certain things, or sometimes you probably try to put yourself in a bracket where, you know what, like I said earlier on, the signs will be there, but we choose to ignore them. So right now, that first sign, I'm just fucking up. I'm not getting involved. So I'm kind of listening to that first sign now. Whereas prior to that, they'll probably be like, nah, probably I'll just give you a shot. Probably we'll just take it. I'll just probably just take it. But now, nah, fuck this.
Okay. Thank you for your answers. That is the end of our 3 questions. That's the end of the interview with Soulja De Niro. Please hit the link to watch the next episode where we may be interviewing Lance or one of our other audience members. We hope you enjoyed it. Let's all come together and give a round of applause for Soulja. Thank you. Cool people. That's number 1.
Soulja was right at the Drake.